Hello everyone, welcome back to class. In the previous section we looked at how to create an invoice. Now in this section we are going to look at how to receive payment. Well, I say we're going to look at how to record immediate cash sales, but no, let's receive an invoice against let's receive payment against the invoice we have raised, right? But before we receive payment, let's make a couple of transactions again. Remember that anybody you are extending credit to should be somebody you already know. So that is why it is important the name of the customer. You should know the customer you are extending credit to. Extending credit means that you're building business relationship with somebody, right? Because you want the person to patronize you the more, right? So let's go ahead and create another invoice. Right, this time around I want to come to my customer center here. Right, when I come to my customer center, the first thing I want to do is I'll click here, I'll click new transaction, then I'll click invoice, Control I. It is going to give me that. So this is create invoice, right? So I don't want this name, I don't want to create invoice on this name, so I will change the name. So I'll just add new customer. Right, this time around I will just fabricate another name. Right, this name is just for training purposes, and I will say Lush store. So Lush store, don't worry, it's just a name, Lush store. And when I'm done, I'll just click OK. Right, so that is it. I have created a new customer again. Now I must not necessarily always add new or this thing. Right, I can from here as well. If I want to add a new customer, I can from here I say okay, I know the customer. I will just say maybe the name of the customer is Lakey House store. Maybe that's the name of the store, the business, or the customer. I'll just do after typing it like this, I'll just tap my tab key. I'll just press my tab key. Right, if I press my tab, you can see what I have. You can say that Lakey House store is not in the customer list or job list. Right, so to automatically add Lakey House store to the customer or job list, click add quick or setup. So if I click this, it will take me back to that same place we used to enter the customer name. But if I just do add quick, it will just save the customer and I will continue my transaction. So here I will enter this transaction. Let's say the customer bought 20 let's say the customer bought 20 packs of or 20 cartons of this particular item. Let's say this item, right? So we are out of quantity. That's what it's trying to tell you, that okay, you don't have sufficient quantity on hand to sell item boa rice, right? So that's what it's trying to tell us. We don't have sufficient item, so we can go ahead and say okay, we will sell it like that, because we actually allow us to make such sales. It allows us to make such sales. Then later, when the item is received or entered in the system, it could be that the item is available, but we have not yet updated our inventory list for that particular item, so that's why it is insufficient, right? So let's leave it like that. Let's say the person needs 20 bags of this item, and we can see that it has been calculated, the VAT and everything has been calculated, and this is the total amount the person is going to pay. And also the person need let's say 5 of this another item, right? Let's say the person need 5 of let's say 5 of this, right? You can see, and the person also need 5 of this, and the person need also 5 of this as well. So these are the items the person wants to buy from us. You can see this is how it has been calculated, and this is everything the customer is going to pay us, right? So when we are done with that, we can do save and close or save and new. So I'm going to do save and new, then all this ignore. Then I will select the next customer, this Lush store, and I will say okay, this person is, we're entering a couple of invoices. This person needs 7 of this and need let's say 5 of this, right? So let's say 5 of this and need 7 of this as well. Let's say need 7 of this as well. So this is what the customer wants. So go ahead and do what? And save and close this time around, because we don't have any other invoice to create. So let's save and close, then you can ignore this. Right, so we have created a couple of invoices again for this customer. Now we want to receive payment for this item, and eventually this invoice has been sent to the customer and the customer wants to pay. Right, from here you don't need to go anywhere. Right, from here you can receive payment, just as I told us. You can receive payment from here by just selecting the name of the customer, then you come to new transaction, then you can say receive payment. So what is the difference between receive payment and invoice? Now when you create an invoice, remember what I told you about payment of bills, right? Payment of bills. When you receive payment of, when you enter a bill, you need to receive the bill. You need to make the payment through the payment bill option here, right? Through pay bill option here, I mean. So when you pay the bill, so that it will reflect what QuickBooks actually, how QuickBooks was designed to handle such transaction. Yeah, your accounting knowledge always is valid if you know what you're doing, but it may not be QuickBooks wise to do it that way, right? So that is why it is always advisable. And besides, if you are using your accounting based knowledge to do it without actually following the procedure as outlined by QuickBooks here, it will give you the result you want, but it will not reflect what QuickBooks actually is meant to. It will not reflect exactly how QuickBooks is designed to reflect such transaction. Right, we have seen that a couple of times, or we have seen that when I was illustrating the payment to vendors using journal. So when you create invoice, now the next thing is that if the customer make payment, you have to use the receive payment. So by definition, they say record a payment you have received from a customer against an invoice or bill statement. So against an invoice you have created. So this is it. Now, so to receive that payment, we can as well click here. Right, we can as well click here on our dashboard, and we have this payment window, which is payment form, to fill it and receive the payment against the customer. Or if you're already at the customer center here, right, you can just select the vendor, the customer you want to receive payment from, come to your new transaction, then you have to click receive payment, and you will still have the same thing. Now when you do that, we have this option. This customer has already been selected. Now you see that the invoice is open. Now let's say this customer is paying completely. All right, so if the customer is paying complete, all you need to do is to check or click here and to check this box. When you check this box, it will fill up everything at once. You can see this is just QuickBooks trying to tell you that if you do not enter the amount the customer paid and you check here, it will automatically calculate and assume that the customer have finished payment. So if you want to see this again, you can always say yes. If you don't want, you can just say okay, but I'll just say yes and okay. Right, so now what is the method of payment? Now let's say the customer paid via transfer, via cash transfer, or via whatever. Now we don't have any option for let's say direct bank transfer. So you can always add your payment method just by clicking the more button here, and you have this option, right? So you can just click add new payment method. Now you can add direct you can add your payment method, direct transfer or direct bank deposit, whatever method the transaction, direct transfer, whatever method of payment was used or you want, you can just do that and click OK, so that anytime you come you can select that, and that is it. So you have to save when you are done. This reference number could be this. You can use this as your reference number as well. So when you are done with that, you can just go ahead and save and new or save and close. So in this case, I will do save and close. Now there is another thing I want us to know here. You know, when we are making this payment, there was no option for us to select where the payment was actually deposited or where the money was actually deposited. And by default, QuickBooks have what is called undeposited fund account. And when you are using this undeposited fund account to receive payment from customers, now the problem it will pose for you is that if you have more than one transaction that you are recording at a time, now it will require you at the end of the day to start sorting out and start reconciling your bank statements on and on and on and on again. So what do I mean? Now this is a payment we received just right now. If you look at it, this is a payment under this record deposit. This is a payment we just received right now. So if I click on it, I will see it here. This is a payment we received, right? But this payment should have gone to the bank account that received it. Now to deposit this money into the bank account, all I need to do is to just click on it, right? If I click on it, then I'll click OK. Then I'll have the option to select where the money was paid into. Now deposit to, which bank was this money paid into? Was it UBA? Was it Zenith Bank? Was it Access? Was it Petty? Was it Cash? Anyone? I will have to select that. But that is going to be a double work for me. You know why? Because by default, I should have been able to select where the payment is going to go. Now what happens if you have a pile of transactions, maybe 20-40 transactions in a day, and we are paid into different accounts? If all we are paid into one account, no problem, you can record it, you can record them to that account at once. But what if they are not recorded they are not paid into one account? Like we have multiple accounts here, so that means all these 40 transactions, you have to be picking them one after the other, and once that is done, you cannot actually select which account it goes to, right? You cannot actually select which account it goes to from here. That means at the end of the day, you have to do what is called reconciliation, moving the ones that are not supposed to be something like that. So that is not how it's supposed to be. Now I'm going to show you another thing to do, and this is one thing that you always have to bear in mind. So when things like this happen, you don't need to panic. You don't need to panic. So what you need to do is to go back to your back end, which is now your edit. Come to your edit here, come to your preferences. Now if you come to your preferences, what we are looking for is payment. Now if you come to your payment here, come to company preferences. Now look at this option where they say use undeposited fund account as a default deposit to account. So we don't want this option actually, so we can uncheck it. So when we uncheck it, that means anytime we are performing any transaction, we always have the option to choose the account where the payment is going to be made. Now let me show you something again before we do that. Come to your chart of account. If you come to your chart of account, you will see that the payment is actually in our undeposited fund account. Where is it? This is our undeposited fund account. This is where the money is recorded, but it's supposed to have gone into any of these 4 accounts that we have, not this, right? Not this account, not this account. It's not supposed to be here. It's supposed to be in any of these. So we, by not selecting it when we are recording the payment, it gives us, it's kind of a double work for us, because we have to come back and start tracing which account was this, and maybe if the transactions are much, you can just go ahead and select one. You can just go ahead and select all of them at once and post it into one account, and beside later you start sorting and you start moving, transferring and reconciling accounts. So it is not wise. So it is always advisable to do that, right? To do that, to record those transactions and to do it once and for all. Now let's go back to our edit, come to our preferences. Now come to our payments, then come to company preferences and uncheck this option. So when we uncheck this option, we now click OK, right? So we now click OK. So when we do that now, we will have this option whenever we want to receive payment. If you click on payment now, you always have the option to deposit this money. Where do you want to deposit this money? So let's say we are receiving payment from this customer as well, and let's say we are receiving everything, right? So we have the option now, we have the choice, the option to select where the money is going to go at once, or where the money was paid into. Let's say it was paid into this account, right? So I will just select deposit to select, and the means of payment is via direct transfer. I'll just select it and click what, and click save and new, or save and close. So I'm going to go with save and close. Now this time around, you can see that we don't have any option for the money to be deposited in our own deposit. So it's still that the same one transaction. And if you check your chart of account now, if you check your chart of account, or if you check your account, now you can see that the money has been deposited. So if I open it Right, if I open it, you can see the payment here. You can see it has been paid and it has been recorded. So that is as simple as that. We don't actually need to move that money again. But if you happen to see this, right, so this is how you're going to do it. So you open this account. When you open it, you select the deposit you want to make. When you open the deposit, you select the account you want the money to go into. Let's say it was paid into this account. Now you can save it, you can save that as well. You can save and close, and the money will automatically move into the account. So when you open the account, you will see that it's now saying that deposit. Right now, on deposit fund account, this is deposit, this is where it has come in. Right, so we have recorded that payment. Now we have received payment against an invoice we created via the pay and receive payment option. Now you cannot use this payment option to record cash receipt transaction. That's payment for immediate cash transaction. Like when you make cash sales, you can't use this option to record cash sales. It's not going to reflect what you want to do, because any payment you're receiving here, it is always tied to invoice, and invoice is always tied to credit customers. So because it's a cash transaction, it will not going to work. So to record your cash transaction, what you are going to use, your cash sales, what you are going to use is create sales receipt. Create sales receipt. And in this case, because we don't actually need to know the name of the customer, we are going to use our sundry sales customer. Right, when you click on cash receipt, right, when you click on cash receipt from your cash create cash receipt sales receipt here, when you click on it, you will always have this option. You always have this option. I always want it to be like this. So enter sales receipt. So enter sales receipt is actually what you're going to see under the customer here. So that's what the name you're going to see. But in your dashboard, you're going to see what? In your dashboard, you're going to see create sales receipt. So as simple as that. If you know how these things work, you will actually find it easy to navigate through. Now, because it's a cash transaction, I don't have any business entering the name of the customer in my system. But for me to record this transaction, for me to be able to record this transaction, I need to create a dormant customer, and that dormant customer will serve as the customer I'm going to use to record all my cash transactions. So all the cash transactions or cash sales I have made, I can use this name. Like we can use sundry sales, generic name for it, for all the sales, for cash sales transactions. And I can as well use general sales or sundry sales, whatever name I want to use in identifying all my immediate cash sales. Right, so that's it. And I'll click here and then enter the item. Right, I'll select the item here, the item I want to sell. Let's say I want to sell this. And when I select that, I have to select the quantity. So when I select the quantity of that, then here I will also have the option to select which account the money was paid into. Now the money was paid into this account. Let's say the money was paid into Zenith Bank. I have the option to select and post the money there immediately. Now the date of transaction, I will leave it like that. Then the mode of transaction, then I can say it's direct cash transfer. Right, direct cash transfer, and that is it. So when I'm done filling this form, I can go ahead and say save and close or save and new. Maybe I have another customer who paid via cash and it pays into the same bank account. Right, paid into the same bank account, and I want to enter it. I can as well do it from here. Right, let's say this one is going to get 20. Right, so 10 of this, and I'll just go ahead and save and close. But save and new or save and close, ignore. Now when I do that, let's say we have another customer who just bought from us and has paid, and this time around he's paying into a different account, and this one is buying sugar and bought, let's say, 5 of this. Right, and this person paid into different account. Let's say this person paid into our UB account. So I'll always select the account the money was deposited into, and then click on save and close or save and new. Then I don't want to print later, I'll just go ahead and uncheck this. Now click on save and close. Right, save and close. So you can see we have recorded our invoice. We created invoice. Right, we received payment against an invoice, and we recorded our cash sales transaction. You see, bill your customer and receive the payment at the same time. So that's by definition, any payment you're receiving immediately, this is the option you are going to use. So these are the basic things, or these are the most important things we are going to be using this for. Maybe later on when we find more what will I call it, transactions that defines this, we can do that. But basically, this is it. This is for credit sales. This is to receive a payment against this invoice, right? This is for immediate cash transaction. Now the next thing we are going to look at is refund. I told us that there is nothing you are looking for in QuickBooks that you in accounting that QuickBooks have not actually handled for you. So all you need to do is to know what you're looking for, and you see the option. Now a customer bought something from you, and you refunded the customer, and or the customer returned the item, maybe not due to not specification, it is not the specified type of product, or some kind of damage or something, and you want to make refunds to the customer. So how do you do that? You have to come here. You can see issue a credit memo to credit a customer for a merchandise return, service credit, or credit towards an account. So you can just come here and click on it, right? When you click on it, now you can come here and select the customer you want to make the refund to. Now let's say we want to make this refund to this customer, right? You want to make this refund to this customer, and what did the customer buy from you? Let's actually view what the customer bought from you so that we know exactly what we are refunding. Now we want to refund the customer for this Martina, and we want to refund the customer, let's say Martina, right, for this Martina, and we want to refund the customer for 3 of those items, right? 3 of those items. So we have to now enter the quantity of the item. It has calculated the value. Now when it calculates the value, you can see, all right, my battery is almost down, no problem. When you calculate the value, you can see that it has now added back the VAT. This is one of the most important things. This is why I like it. Maybe when I charge my system, I will show you what this means. You can see that it calculated the value of the item and even the VAT. So it has deducted the VAT from the VAT payable as well, right? So that is very, very important. You should know, right? I will not print this later. I'll just uncheck this. So when I do that, I'll click on save and new, or save and close. Now if I click on save and new or save and close, this I will just ignore. Right, so this is it. This option now is asking me, do I want to retain as an available credit to this customer, so that whenever the customer is placing another order, I can use it to offset his remaining balance, or do I want to give him a refund? So if I want to give him a refund, I can go ahead, or if I want to apply it to if the customer has an invoice already, I can go ahead. But let's go ahead and leave it retain as an available credit, because this is a customer. We know the customer, and we can use it to offset its credit balance. But let's say it's all this one-time customer, of course immediately you have to give them their cash back. So that is just that. On that, we in a space of about 20 minutes, we have learned so much on different things. We have learned how to create invoice. We have learned how to receive payment against an invoice. I've also learned how to record immediate cash sales. I also learn how to refund a customer, how to record refund in QuickBooks. So that is one simple thing, one of the major things we are going to be looking at, or we are going to be seeing in our customer section, and that is basically the end of this class. I have basically covered everything you are going to be doing using QuickBooks to do, right? And this training is in detail. I have taken my time to develop it. If you look at it from the beginning of this class, from the initial videos in this platform, right, you will see that this training, this particular one, I am doing it free flow. There are details. I'm not using any template to teach you. I'm just pouring out everything from my head to you, because I love you, because I want you to understand how to use this application without actually complicating things for you. So on this part, I'll just retain it. I'll click OK. And when I click OK, that is just it. I have records. So anytime we raise an invoice for that customer, it will always give us option to apply that credit balance that is open for that customer. So thank you very much. When we come back, maybe we'll look at something else. But basically, we have come to the end of this class, right? We have come to the end of this class. Every other thing that I have said in the previous sections, in the first videos, actually stands. They apply as well. So that is just it. And thank you very much. See you in the platform whenever you have any question.